Hello, and we're back with more modded Minecraft. CrazyRonn here. Uh, Last video I talked about Mekanism and its automation processes and it working in conjunction with other mods, like what you can see here, thermal expansion, applied energistics. I have extra utilities over there, that little block, that kind of stuff. Now, applied energistics is today's topic, and it's really cool little mod. I mean, I don't know how to feel about all of the blocks in the game being transferred into matter, you know, but you can really do cool stuff with it. And it has an expensive startup, and it takes a while to get momentum when you start building the upper level tech stuff. Because I mean, like if you do applied energistics stuff, like these are all the blocks, and a lot of them required a crap ton of quartz, like nether quartz, Certus quartz, that kind of thing. So you have to really be wary of where to mine for that stuff, because they're not really that common. I mean, I feel like they're as rare as diamond. I don't know the distribution rate, but they're pretty bad when it comes to finding it. That's why I use my Mekanism digital miner for it. I just spam the living crap out of it, and I just get as much quartz as I can. But all that aside, how useful can applied energistics get? I mean, yes, you can store a crap ton of items, like Minecraft items, all in one spot without having to make, like, you know, a storeroom full of freaking oversized chests like this obsidian one. You know, you could just store everything within like a storage drive like this. So how do you do it, and what else can you do with that? Well, see, what else can you do with that is right here. This is a crafting terminal. This gives you access to all of the things on your network that is hooked up to your storage. And notice how a lot of my items have numbers, high numbers, obviously, and a lot of them also say the word craft under it instead of numbers. The cool thing about applied energistics is you can pretty much automate even crafting. Now, when you combine that with Mekanism or harvesting, or not really harvesting because you got to set the machine up, but if you can combine that with mechanisms or processing, and it's acquiring of items and stuff. I mean, all we need is forestry mod now to make like trees, and harvesting crops automated too. I mean, that would be the way to do it. But as a main example, for example, it says I need gravel. Like I have 0 gravel and 0 sand. Gravel is really important because if anyone didn't see my Mekanism video, I need gravel for the process to process ores, because I need the gunpowder and the sulfur. So how do I get that? Well, my digital miner in Deep Dark is off. Like, in the last video I went over the digital miner, and it's supposed to be mining gravel, but it's not mining anymore. It's done, it's gone. So how do I get that? Well, I start off by cannibalizing cobblestone, because to get gravel you can, whoops, I can spell. To get gravel you can where is it, crush cobblestone. And I have right here igneous extruder from thermal expansion. Yeah, I couldn't think for a second. And I have it hooked up to my water line and my lava line. And so the it creates pretty much its own cobblestone generator. I have it switched on, and it pumps it straight into the system. And there it creates cobble, because you can use the digital miner to mine cobble, but it starts creating holes like quarries, buildcraft quarries, and it looks really ugly on the surface. I mean, even though I'm mining in a dimension that's just a pure cavern, I still prefer aesthetic. So from there, I want gravel now. So go here, hit craft, and you can choose whatever level you want. I usually go for 640, 10 stacks, hit begin, and now it's going to start creating that. It sucks up the cobblestone in the network for the process, and look at that, it's already creating the cobble, and it's all, or the gravel, and it's also being consumed by the machine already. That's how fast it's going. So how does this happen? It's not all located here. It's actually located in the applied energistics building, which is next door. Now we're gonna head over there. I'm gonna take the utility tunnels. Under all my structures here are the utility lines. Pretty much the water pipe, the lava pipe, the applied energistics network cable, which it's called ME cables, but I like to call it network because it acts like internet. It really does. Internet that transfers matter, and the power cable, which is the power lines. So we're gonna go over next door. Tinker's construct building's over there, and then we're gonna come up here, and this is the applied energistics building. So this is where everything gets automated through applied energistics, and it's a really cool way of storing stuff. Don't mind my modular power suits tinker's table here. So basically, it pipes in everything that is necessary to automate whatever I want out of the machine. And to automate stuff, don't worry about the quantum ring. I'll go over that in a second. You need this, a processing computer. Pretty much what you need for it is, I can't remember the name. It's been a while since I last built this thing. You need the heat vents and crafting CPUs, pattern providers, and assembler containment walls. This entire assembly is called an ME assembler. Pretty much, at the minimum, you need a frame made out of containment walls. Then you need the heat vents, and then you need a crafting computer or a CPU, and at least one pattern provider. The smallest you can make this is like a 3x3x3, with the center being a pattern provider, and then having a CPU. I don't think you can even have a CPU with that small. But essentially what this does, it allows you to automate crafting. Now, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, how do you even store this in the first place? Well, anyone who's not familiar with applied energistics, you need to get a lot of resources to get this first main thing here, the ME drive. Just imagine it like a server bank. And this server bank will hold your storage cells. Think of it like hard drives. And you put the hard drives in there, and you get a monitor. See, a default one is one that doesn't have the crafting table in it. Like, it doesn't have a crafting table like this. It has something like this. Now, I'll go over my little arm here. This is from modular power suits, and I have, with applied energistics installed, I also have access to upgrading it to have a wireless access point. It's like a little tablet that allows me to wirelessly access the ME network wherever I'm in range for it. Default is 32 blocks, which isn't that far. I have an antenna outside. It looks like a cell tower, and I upped the config files to be like 1,000 blocks, so I can pretty much access this wherever I want, but I can't craft. But then again, my modular power suit has a crafting table. Anyway, random OP items aside, once you hook this up, you need to hook up ME cables to it, and any ME cable hooked up to the system will pretty much keep it all networked. And this is where everything starts. So here's a crafting terminal, and you can grab stuff and you can craft stuff through here. Like, I can make a compressed gravel right here, and it'll pull from this inventory. You can sort it by ID. You can toggle the order. You could also set your search box, like if I want an iron ingot, right there, and then you can customize your hard drives. Like, you can partition your hard drives so they only specifically accept certain items. Like, let's see, item resources right here. This partition will only accept these items, pretty much whatever's normally resource ores. While I have one that's like wood stuff. Where is it? Here we go. Wood resources is for my tree farm, so it only accepts logs and stuff. So it's that kind of thing. Now, how do we automate the crafting? Well, you pretty much need to utilize the CPU, and you need to utilize the automated assembler, or the ME assembler, whatever the official term is. I can't think of it right now. And you need to also have a pattern encoder. Pretty much, it allows you to encode whatever you want. Like, it will encode any crafting recipe, even ones that are impossible. And how that even matters, or how that plays into anything, I will explain in a second. But pretty much, let's just say I want to make a chest, right? I mean, I get one piece of wood, then I make a square, then here, hit encode. Now, this is encoded. And so I open this up. This has I have 3 pages. The amount of storage space inside is dependent on how many CPUs and stuff you put inside. Not CPUs, containment. Pattern providers. My God, I can't think today. Let me break this open real quick. See, that's a CPU. That's a CPU. I'm just going in the guts of my computer right now. And then right here, pattern providers. So let me reassemble my computer. It's a multi-block structure, and so you could store all of your recipes in here. I have encoded patterns to help automate the crafting of these storage blocks, these storage items, which are necessary for hard drives, and they take a lot of repetitive crafting steps. Like some of these are like 10-step processes, you know, and this automation makes it easier. Then I got like making something simple as torches, and mechanism stuff too. It makes it quicker. I got drums from extra utilities, got redstone blocks, bricks, that kind of thing. So I put this right there. Now I can automate a chest. Now I go in here, and I want a chest. So I type in chest. Oh look, there's none in the inventory, because if there is one of an item inside, it will say at least one. But if there's 0 of an item inside, it will be there. Now I hit craft. I only want one chest. Hit craft, and boom. Now I have a chest right there. It just grabbed the wood from here and it just crafted it. So now I have pretty epic systems, but it's not that simple. You can do even more with it. Now, what if you need to craft something that requires multiple steps, like it needs to go through a furnace? You want cooked pork chop? It has to, when you set it, how is it going to know to turn that pork chop into cooked pork chop? So what you need is to utilize these ME interfaces. Basically, using in the encoders, you command any sort of incoming right here, like these network cables not only transmit items, also data for crafting. So like I'll send in the command that I want a whole bunch of things, right? Well, if it requires another step process, then you can have it set to do it. So for example, let's say I wanted clay because I want to make bricks, right? So here's a brick, just one brick. Actually, let me take all these out. There. See? So I want a brick, right? Now how do I get bricks first? Well, I need clay. Actually, what am I doing? I should go with clay first. So I have clay. This is how much clay I have, 396, right? So if I empty it, let's just say it's empty now. So now I need clay. To make clay, oh, I don't have it in here actually. Pretty much to make clay, you have to use this chemical injection chamber, and mix it with water vapor. Once you mix it with water vapor, it makes bricks. Now, the way to do it is, remember how I mentioned earlier that even when you can even encode a recipe that is impossible, right? So what you do is you get what is it? You get dirt, because in Mekanism you can make clay out of dirt. So like watch, because I'm in a flatlands area right now, and there isn't really much opportunity to get clay. So to make clay, I hit the recipe button, tap R, look at that. Water vapor with dirt in the chemical injection chamber. So I want to make that. So I do the incoming for crafting is dirt, and the outgoing is clay in code. See, technically that crafting recipe is not possible, but it is one that that can happen, but it has to do a step. So for example, now I don't put this encoded pattern in the molecular assembly thing. I have to put it straight in this ME interface now. Now that I put it here, it says that it will take this block right here, will accept one piece of dirt to create clay. So when I request clay out of it, it will put it up in here into this mechanism block, which I have it set to accept from the top. Then it'll create the clay, and then it'll eject it out back into the network. So here we go. I will pull this, all of this. Then I will put this dirt back, actually. Then I'll craft a stack. And so now it's going to start pulling dirt, and it's going to create the clay. And look at that, 4, 5, 6. It sends it straight through. I have the mechanism machine set to auto sort, so it distributes it equally, and it creates all of these at a timely manner. But look at that. Now it creates clay. And that's literally the gist. Using this interface right here, the ME interface, it will inject whatever accepts, it will send an item to whatever is an acceptable, where it is acceptable. Like for example, I can't just send iron into this chemical injection chamber, but I can do it to the crusher, because assuming I want iron dust. So you can do a myriad of things with this. For example, I've automated my mechanism steel creating process. If I want steel, I click if I'm out of steel, because I have like 1,300 units of steel in here, click a button, it sends the iron straight to the metallurgic infuser, mixes it with the compressed carbon, to make the enriched iron. Then it sends the enriched iron to another metallurgic infuser with the compressed carbon to become steel dust. Then it sends the steel dust straight into the energized smelter, and the smelter smelts it into iron ingots, and it sends it back to the network. Iron's done. Then if I run out of compressed carbon, all I have to do is craft it, because compressed carbon is also set right here. Same thing with compressed redstone. Compressed redstone is important for when you want to create control circuits and stuff. So like this control circuit, which is vital for a lot of mechanism items, I can automate that as well. It sends it through here. I even have a combiner, which is really great when it works with Tinker's Construct, because Tinker's Construct's ores can be tripled with thermal expansion using special things, but I'm not going to go over that. Tinker's Construct's a different thing. But see right here, I have this ME interface that creates bronze. It combines 1 tin dust and 1 copper ingot inside this metallurgic infuser, and it creates 1 bronze. So if I need bronze, it'll send it through the network straight there. This ME interface makes me glass, smooth stone. If I want that, it'll send the sand or the cobblestone straight here, and it creates it for me. Seared brick for applied, or not applied, Energistics. Tinker's Construct for their structures. It'll make it here. It'll make the steel. It'll make the silicon, and even a more complicated thing like processors. Applied Energistics relies on processors for a lot of its crafting, or a lot of its machinery. And processors are like a really weird process. They need to build them anyway, you need like a quartz cutting knife. So you make the cutting knife, then you put this here, and then you have to put the processor through a heated process to turn it into a proper processor. And even Applied Energistics will accept it, because the thing about the cutting knife is it actually has damage. And so even as it gets used, it incurs damage, but the moment that thing gets used up, it pulls another one out, or it crafts another one, because I have the I'm full of uhs today, aren't I? I have the encoded pattern in here. My brain's slow today. And so using this, it allows you to completely automate crafting. It's really nice. And so also utilizing the wireless transmitter up there, I can pretty much access this wherever I want. I can go here, I can go into the lobby and just have access to the terminal without having the terminal in place. Now this quantum thing right here, the Applied Energistics quantum ring, or whatever the specific term is, I am not good with specific terms today, but it uses like quantum entanglement to help bridge gaps for your network. For example, these cables are the only means of transferring network data between places, and it's annoying because if you're far enough away from your network and you don't have the signal or the signal booster or whatever, you can't actually get access to your network, and you're gonna have to come back. Or you can use this, which is like a quantum tunnel of sorts, which sends all forms of Applied Energistics energy to the next one. Like these are paired using a special process utilizing singularities. You create a singularity with a couple of their items, and when you create the singularity, it creates it in pairs, and then you can link the pairs together. This requires a lot of power. Like phone lines and like internet, Applied Energistics can provide power to each individual or each of its blocks through the cable alone, like this network cable or this matter cable. I mean, this isn't internet anymore. This is transferring Minecraft items through time and space. And so using this power relay, this Applied Energistics power relay, it powers everything. But that's not the point right here. So I'm going to link the quantum link chamber. And now I'm going to show an example, because I can go to the nether, for example. I have the nether set up because I need ores from the nether, like ardite and cobalt for Tinker's Construct to make top tier equipment and stuff. So here it is, and there it is. This is the entryway. And for some reason, all my glowstone has been destroyed in here. Yeah, I had glowstone ceiling lights. I don't know what happened to them. But it gets the power from this thermal expansion tesseract, which I mentioned in the last video. It just teleports power. And I have a wireless access point. And then the quantum link chamber is right there. It has the entangled singularity, which is paired with the one back in the overworld. And now I should be able to access my inventory right here. Yep, see? No server in sight, and I have access to my network. And this block has 1,000 block radius or of access, so I can walk out here. Oh yeah, there's digital miner to harvest hell. I could walk out, fly up as far as I want, and look at that. See? I get access to all my materials in the overworld. So, you know, I can go to hell and have internet too. Internet in hell! That's apparently what it is. So, yeah, applied energistics, quite the useful thing, storage-wise. I mean, it requires a lot of time and effort to get all the resources necessary to make it work, but there's the cell tower right there. There's the wireless cell tower. That's where I can get access to all my stuff, and I'm still creating cobblestone. Sweet. While I'm here, I'll craft some sand, and I'll craft some redstone because I need it for a process. Actually, no, I'm not too worried about that. I need to get back on my farming and stuff. But yeah, this is literally just raw ore harvesting and stuff like that between applied energistics and Mekanism, and it literally just makes everything. I mean, it does seem a bit lazy, but I have a full-time job and I just like to have this. It's really nice. When I play Minecraft, it's more about micromanaging at this point. I don't really build as much as I used to. I still build a lot. I mean, I build these structures, but it's still fun to try and figure out these systems in place. Like, this is as compact as I can make it right now, and I also have room for expansion. You know, I can add more blocks from different mods and automate their processes even more. And so, even something as simple as making a comparator can be streamlined using this. You know, atomic core, all the steps necessary to make the atomic core is just crazy, and then a lot of the modular power suit stuff. I mean, see, I can craft the atomic core right now in the machine because I have the resources for it. Now, if you can't craft something because it doesn't have the items, it will let you know in this crafting monitor. Like, the crafting monitor is like a queued up thing that lets you know when and when you cannot craft something. So like here, I'll click atomic core. I'll make 32. You know, this is always useful for something. Hit begin, go to the crafting monitor. It's creating the atomic core right now, and it requires 4 enriched alloys, 2 obsidian dust, and 2 osmium dusts to make it, right? So the atomic core, it just grabs everything off of the network. And so it requires a diamond, pulverized obsidian, osmium dust. I don't know if I actually have a lot of diamond, though. Yeah, I'm consuming all my diamonds. I should really stop that. But pretty much, it pulls the diamonds from here. Then to get the osmium dust, because I don't have osmium dust sitting here. I mean, see, I even have osmium dust just 2. But after that gets consumed, it has to get crafted. So that and the obsidian, when it needs it, it pings the crusher right here, or that's the enrichment chamber. It pings the crusher right here. It sends a signal to it. It sucks in obsidian and osmium. It crushes it. Then it sends it back. Then to get the enriched alloy, which is right here, to get that enriched alloy for also that recipe, it requires iron, and it will, if it doesn't have enriched alloy, it'll send the iron to this this metallurgic infuser right here that has redstone, and it'll turn the iron into the enriched alloy. See? So it'll turn that into enriched alloy, then it'll transport it here. Then that's when you can use it for the atomic core. And so it's literally like a 1,000-step process right here to the atomic core. And so it's like a 1,000-step process made even simpler. I mean, heck, even the advanced solar generator right here is made way easier now with this process, assuming you have the resources. So to make the advanced solar generator, you need enriched alloys, iron ingots, but you need solar generators. To get the solar generators, you need the tablet, the osmium dust, enriched alloy, and the solar panels. And to make the solar panels, you need glass panes, you need enriched alloys, osmium, redstone. And funny thing is that even the tablet requires gold, enriched alloy, redstone. So when I request that I want a solar generator, which I can actually get 4, I should order 4 of right now because I need it to expand my salination plant. But oh wait, I already have 8. Good, so I can build 2 more. Pretty much, you hit the request for it, and it's gonna go through every step of the way. It's gonna grab If there's no glass, it will, yeah, there's no glass. It'll grab sand, it'll turn it into 6 glass blocks, turn it into a glass pane, combine those glass panes, it'll combine those glass panes with the necessary things like the enriched alloy. It'll combine it with the iron, put through the metallurgic infuser to make the enriched alloy. Then it'll make the solar panel. It'll do that 3 times so it can get the solar generator. Then it'll make the energy tab with the gold and the enriched alloy. Then it'll do that entire process of gathering these together 4 times. Then it'll put them all together here and it'll make the solar generator. So you can make very complicated things be only as far away as a click of a button, because a lot of these things just take 10 steps, 5 steps, a crap ton of steps just to create them. So yeah, applied energistics, all about convenience. It's quite a thing. It's amazing, to say the least. I love it. It saves a lot of time, especially when you're trying to create these storage cells. These hard drives of sorts, they require lots and lots and lots of resources. Storage right here. Like, to make these, you can have 1000 storage, 16, 64K storage, 4K storage. Now, I'm not going to explain how the bytes are used, like per item, but pretty much it says 0 out of 63 types. It pretty much means that you can store 63 of unique items, or you can store 4000 of one item. That's what it means with a 4K storage. But to make these, like, I'm using 64K storages right now. To make that, you need a storage block, and to make a storage block, you need 3 storage segments. But each storage segment is made up of storage cells, and each storage cell is made up of surface quartz. So you literally need like the power of 3, 3 to the power of 3, 3 to the power of 4, something like that, to make all this stuff, and then the quartz on top of that, and the diamond. So really hefty, really expensive, quite the investment. But once you get up to speed, you can pretty much craft anything automatically if you have it hooked up right. So Minecraft at its laziest and its finest, I suppose. But yeah, until next time, until the next mod, CrazyRonn out.